Hey, welcome back, y'all. This is Dina or Ashwani, and all my videos are really about helping someone in their own spiritual practice, or if they're a reader, whether they're a psychic, a mystic, intuitive, whatever it may be, that there's their practice to add in something that might help you, or how you may be guided. So when I channel, a lot of the times I've got pen and paper and I'm doing automatic writing or something of that nature. Sometimes I'm using crystals. So if I'm scrying, if you will, sometimes it's in a bowl of water or it's just getting messages through crystals. So let's take an example of I'm using my crystal ball that I got in Sedona, Arizona. I loved this thing because, and it's heavy, so I don't usually take it to sessions with me when I'm going outside to psychic fairs, is it looked like I had a natural eye in this ball. And the price was my favorite number. They had it for 3 years, and she even told me the story behind it is they were waiting for the perfect person to have it, and I'm like, oh, it's mine. So this is smoky quartz, and again, I love it because it's got that natural eye in it, and it's the only place that has it. It also reminded me of Saturn with its natural ring in the middle. I just loved it. It looked very celestial to me, and I work with a lot of celestial energies. I do believe, we're not the only race out in here in the world, that we have other life intelligence out there. So if you don't like hearing that, you may want to skip this video then, because I talk about that. So, but I love using the crystal. So sometimes I'm just one hand on and I'll be like, show me when I need to see for so-and-so. And it might be for myself or it might be for a person that I'm reading for. And then sometimes it's both hands on. So no two right or wrong. Make it your own process. This is an example of more divination tools that I use in my own practice of when I really need it. And sometimes I need to be really grounded. Maybe I've been squirrel all day long because I'm ADD and dyslexic and I need to be grounded. I might just be hands on this. I have done that before when I'm in a reading with someone and I'm just very flighty. My energy is very fey, very fairy kingdom, just mischievous, whatever it is for the day. If I need to be grounded, I will probably be holding a crystal. Sometimes it's my die where I just kind of hold them like this. Sometimes it's my copper ball. If you need to feel grounded, especially if you have a desk job, I always recommend have a ball of copper on your desk because it is very grounding. You can hold it in your hand while you're on the phone, while you're answering emails. Well, maybe not while you're answering emails. You kind of need both hands for the keyboard, huh? But it's really great, especially if you're on the phone, if you're dealing with a difficult project. Let's say you're a project manager and it's just driving you bananas. Gwen Stefani, Bannas. Wait, I put two N's in there. It's only got one N. So anyway, this is an example of it. I do not go back and edit my videos. You're getting me just raw and real. I don't cut that out because I need it to be in that flow, in that moment, because it's not usually the same. So anyway, I usually have copper ball always on my desk. Sometimes I take them to the fairs and I'll have them in my hand, especially if I'm wandering the store between sessions or something, if I'm going outside and I want to take it with me. But that's an example. In fact, my best friend was staying here one time with me, and she was on a lot of work calls, and she loved it so much she bought one for her office and her desk. So yeah, it was an influence for her. So if you're watching, Renee, hope you still love your copper. And so if I'm doing a reading, I'll go back to this and I'll say, show me what I need to see about this person, or give me guidance, or give me messages, that sort of thing. And I'm generally, before I even start a session anyway, I'm grounded and I call in my spirit team, my spirit guides and helpers. And then sometimes if I know that person or I've read for them before, I might call in their guides. And if I don't know them, sometimes I'll call in their own team. But I generally just go with whatever I feel. So it's not always 100%. Go with it feels good for you. So let's say I'm doing this and I'm reading for, Angela, who's in front of me, because I was just looking at my angel number book and Angela came to my mind. Show me what I need to see for Angela. And then I would give her the messages that are coming through that is for her. So that's an example of how I would use a crystal or crystal ball And you can pretty much do it with any crystal if you want. So this was my mentor and teachers. This was Dr. Chuck Murphy, that we all got from his spiritual community that he taught many, many, many of us here in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. And this was his. And so I usually have this in my sessions, sometimes when I go out to the fairs, but it's always beside me when I'm doing readings for myself or other people. So it generally sits on my desk. But rose quartz is all about self-love. Who doesn't need more self-love? We're so critical of ourselves and one another. But that's an example of how you can use those. Sometimes if you want to bring in money, I might choose a crystal and stone that's for that. So this is citrine. You know, go with what feels good for you. But I've worked with crystals and stones since I could walk. My mom always made the cute little comment of, I always have to check your pockets and your pants because you always have rocks and stones and crystals everywhere. Yeah, I'm still like that. I'm 54 years old. I still have rocks and crystals and stones in my pocket. So, but that's an example. And sometimes I love these little palm stones I might be holding these when I'm reading for someone. So this is lapis lazuli, which any mystic or psychic or intuitive should have a piece of this because it helps you deepen. And I just love the size of this one. And so sometimes I'll put them on like the top of my cards when I'm not reading. And that is just solely to keep the energy in that deck, so that there's no outside energies imbued with those cards, because I really want to be as clear and clean as possible. I mean, that's part of my practices that I do when I do spiritual work. So hope you enjoyed this video of how you might be able to use crystals for divination or for messages or answers in your own practice. Whether you're doing it for yourself or for others, have fun. Make it your own. There's no right or wrong. Just listen. And if you're a person that it's hard for you to shut your mind down, you might want to start with like copper that really gets you grounded, or be barefoot. You know, find something that really works, that you can expand the way you do things, or find something that adds to or contributes to your practice, regardless if you read only for yourself or you also read for others, one or the other or both. So be uniquely you, but challenge yourself to learn something new, bring something new in. So when I did like picking these dice, me and my soul sister Anne, if you're watching, thank you for helping me pick these out. I was guided while we were on a trip to Florida. We went to a Hay House conference, and I'm like, we were walking in the shop, and I'm like, I need a pair of stone dice. I don't know why. I just need them. Well, they're part of my divination practice. So when I need a number for someone, if I'm not guided a specific number to look up in the book, I'll roll my die 1 through 12 and be asked to be shown a number for that particular person. So anywho, that's an example of always gravitated towards stones and crystals that I incorporate into my practice. So hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments, what do you put in your practice? What works for you? Because we can teach one another. We can all learn from each other. I'm not always just a teacher. I'm also a student. So teach me. Hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you on the flip side with the next video.